Hey y'all, this is Keisha from Lorraine's Treats and Things. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Today I'll be making a peach cobbler. This is the crust right here, and you'll need 2.5 cups of flour, 1/4 teaspoon of salt. I also use 2 sticks of unsalted butter. So if you use salted butter, which you can, don't add salt to the crust. I also use 4 ounces of cream cheese. If you buy the 8 ounce pack of cream cheese, just cut it in half and cut those pieces up. You want the pieces to be like little squares. You know, it don't have to be precise, but you want it to be small. And you also going to cut the butter up into squares also. And I also used 4 ounces of lard. They should have it in the grocery store or the meat market, but 4 ounces of lard, and all your ingredients should be cold. We do not want this to be room temperature because we're going to cut it into the flour, and well, I'm going to peach it in there. So if you have one of those a bench scraper or something like that, then you could do it like that also, but I'm going to do it with my hands. So just make sure your hands are clean and dry, and we're going to pinch all those ingredients I just mentioned into the flour. So you're going to need 2.5 cups of flour, all-purpose flour. You're going to need 1/4 teaspoon of salt if you don't have salted butter. If you have salted butter, just omit the salt, okay? Also, you're going to need 2 sticks of butter. You're going to need that's cut up into bite-sized pieces. That's cold. You're going to need a half of an 8 ounce package of cream cheese, which is 4 ounces, and 4 ounces of the lard. All these ingredients should be cut up into little squares, bite-sized pieces, and they should all be very cold. Okay, so we just sifting our flour right here, and when all of this is done, then we're going to get into adding the other ingredients so we can pinch them into the flour, and yeah, to get our little pie crust going. And I think this pie crust turned out really, really well. It's also good for any cobblers, or if you want to make, a regular pie crust for a pie, yes. But I would not use it in something like, I don't know if I would use this crust for a sweet potato pie. I guess it could be, but I think it's good for like cobblers, berry cobblers, strawberry cobblers, a strawberry pie. Anything have to do with fruit, I think it would be good. But I would not use it for like a sweet potato pie. I would, or maybe if I make the crust, I would not put the cream cheese and lard. If I was doing a sweet potato pie, maybe I would put lard though. But I probably would do all butter, honestly. Yeah. So this is my butter. This is only 1 stick, but I am going to cut up the other one and put that in there also. So this butter's cold. You don't want it to be room temperature or anything like that. You want it to be cold because when you touch butter, with your hands, it starts to heat up immediately and it will melt fast. So you want it to be really, really cold. Like take it out the refrigerator, cut it up, and start making your crust like that cold. And this is my cream cheese, my 4 ounces of cream cheese. So I haven't used lard. I haven't seen lard. I don't even know. I think before my kids were born, but this recipe calls for lard. So yeah, that's a lard. And I'm just going to cut that up into little squares or whatever. You can cut it up any way you want, just as long as it's like, similar sizes or whatever. That's about it. But yeah. And you guys, I think this is my first. If I made peach cobbler before, it probably was like once maybe in my life, but I don't think I've ever made it. This is my first time, and I think I did pretty good. It came out really good, you guys. Especially that filling, something special. It really was. So this is all of my cold ingredients: my butter, my lard, and my cream cheese. My hands are clean and I am ready. Okay, so I'm just going to pinch this in like this until everything comes together where I can like actually work the dough, which means like, you know, start pushing it down, turning it, you know, things like that or whatever. So you don't want to overmix your crust, but I mean, I don't think I did, but you definitely don't want to do this for like 40 minutes. But I think this total process probably took like, I want to say like a good about 10, 12 minutes, 10 to 12 minutes, I think. It might have been shorter than that, but I'm just going to say that. So it don't take a long, long time. You just got to be prepared. Like have everything set and ready to go, you know, not stopping to get anything. And then, you know, it'll turn out really, 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 really well. Yes, I hope everybody's doing okay. And, yeah, it's hot in California. It's probably hot where y'all are too. I'm not sure, but it's very hot in California. Los Angeles to be exact. So, well, it's not real hot because we at least we still have a cool breeze with it. So it's not like deathly hot or anything. Not yet, anyway. So, but it's hot. But it's not that bad though because we have that nice breeze. It used to be just like hot, you know. But anyways, yeah, so I'm peaching this in here. As you can see, it's coming together. Just be patient. It's all going to come together. And also I'm going to use probably like 1.5 ounces of ice cold water. When I finish mixing this up together to where I see all my butter, lard, and cream cheese has come together within the flour, then I'm going to add some cold water, ice cold water, okay? So, yes, do not use warm water. Do not use room temperature water. Use ice cold water. So, I actually had, it was a frozen bottle of water that, you know, was melting. And so, I used that. So, just 1.5 ounces. But pour a little at a time because you might not need it all. So, don't just pour 1.5 ounces in there. No, don't do that. Because you don't want it to be like extra sticky, okay? Now my consistency is, it's not sticky, but you know, it's not dry. So you can do it the way you want to do it. So if you want to use the whole 1.5 ounces, use it. If you want your dough to be a little more stickier, I guess. But just do it the way I'm doing it. Yeah. So just pour a little, like pour a 1/2 ounce. Then you'll see where you at with your dough. Is it coming together like you want it to? And then see that? And then if it's not, then you pour the other 1/2 ounce up until 1.5 ounces. Do not go over that because you should be fine with the 1.5 ounces of ice cold water. So yeah, this is coming together really good. And I'm trying to get it from the bottom because you know how it's that extra flour that be in the bottom of the bowl. So you have to make sure that you go underneath and make sure you scrape the bottom of the bowl also. Because you want this to be well incorporated. So, you know, when you baking this, you don't want your butter and stuff to run out of the dough. That's why you have to put it in the fridge for like 45 minutes to an hour after we bring it together. And we're going to make it like a little round or whatever. And then make like a little disc, you know, or a square, you know, whichever you prefer. There's my ounce of ice cold water. And I'm going to pour some of it in there. Because I'd rather for it to be too little than too much. Because if it's just too little, then you can come back and pour a little more, you know. But if you pour a lot and it's too much, then you might have to add more flour to make it not be whatever, you know, too sticky or too wet, you know. Because you don't want a pie crust dough to be wet or whatever. So I poured the rest of that in there. And so we're getting there. We're getting somewhere. So just keep doing this until it comes together. You gotta be patient when you're doing desserts and stuff because it can be time consuming, you know. So yeah. Yeah, just keep getting it together. And don't worry about all that stuff in your hands. It'll come off. See, the more it comes off easier, you know you're getting to where you want to be. Yeah, see? Yep. So I think I want to make a berry cobbler too, because I think I prefer berry cobbler over peach cobbler. But I was craving a peach cobbler. I was like, man, I'm going to make this. I'm going to make it one day. And so I was like, let me just do a video of it. But some of my video was erased because when I'm recording on my phone, see, there's my other half. And that's all I'm going to use. I'm not going to even need it anymore. But when I record on my phone, sometimes, you know, like when it pops up and say, like, oh, you have 20, your phone is on 20% or 10% or whatever, then my video would stop. And I thought I was recording, but actually my video had stopped and I didn't know. So some parts that I thought I was recording are not even in here. So I still had to just go with it, you know, because I wanted to make the video. And then my lighting was off too a little bit. It was too bright, but it's okay. It's okay. You get the gist of it all. So yeah, see? Look at this dough. Look at this dough. And then you guys, when you have leftover dough, you just wrap it up in saran wrap really good and put it in the freezer. Look at that. And you can put it in the freezer for, I think you can keep dough for a while. I would say up to at least 3 months or something. Maybe longer than that. But you can make like little miniature pies or another peach cobbler, berry cobbler, or whatever, you know. But yeah, I was so proud of myself when I did this, though. I really was. So when you put your mind on something to do, you just got to do it. Trust the process. I know it's easier said than done, though, huh? In anything in life, honestly. Yeah, look at this beautiful dough. Yep. Yeah, I made dough. You always feel good when you're able to accomplish something in the kitchen, honestly. Especially something you've never done before. But yeah, this is a good dough. So we're going to wrap this up and then we're going to put it in the fridge for, I think I left mine in there like an hour. Yeah. So just a little saran wrap. Don't worry about the stuff on my hand. It is what it is, y'all. We just making some dough. We're going to wash it. So I'm just going to get our saran wrap and we're going to put the dough in this wrap. And put it in the fridge. See, something keep coming up on my phone. But sometimes it'll keep recording and then sometimes it won't. So, child, I got to get me a camera though. Hopefully that'll make it all better. I don't know. But anyways, yeah, I just wrapped it up like this. And then I'm going to put this in the fridge. Just like that. Not the freezer, the fridge, you guys. And now here is my saucepan. And I found these peaches. I like this brand, Simple Truth. They have a lot of good products or whatever. But they had these little bags. I think these bags were like, I want to say it was like 8 ounces, maybe. But they was only $1.99 at Ralph's, so I got them. I took the last 2, so I didn't think this was going to be enough. So I ended up getting the 2 cans of peaches also. So I'm going to use the 2 bags and 2 cans of peaches. And this is a half a cup of sugar I'm putting in here now, but I am going to add another half a cup of sugar. So basically, this will be 2 cans of peaches. You can use all 4 cans of peaches if you would like to make it easier and faster. You can use all frozen, or you can use frozen and canned, or you can use fresh. I used 2 bags and 2 cans, and it became enough. So that's when my sugar had cooked down in the frozen peaches, and then I added some salt to this. And I'm just going to stir that a little bit to bring that all together. And I'm going to add my cans of peaches also. Because these peaches, frozen peaches, have cooked down to be the same consistency as the ones in the can. So now I can add the can, because you don't want to put them in there at the same time, because one is going to cook faster than the other, and we don't want that. So that was 1 stick of butter. I'm going to put 2 sticks of butter in here though. So I have 2 cans of peaches. I have 2, I believe they're 8-ounce bags of peaches. The frozen 8-ounce bags of peaches. I have 2 sticks of butter, unsalted, and I also am using, I would say this is about 1/4 teaspoon of nutmeg, 1/4 teaspoon of allspice, and I'm probably going to use about 1.5 tablespoons of cinnamon, and 1 cup of sugar. Okay, now I eyeballed it, but I'm telling you about how much it is. Okay, because I'm going to put more of this in here because it's not going to give me the flavor that I want. So that's why I end up adding another, and I'm going to say about a teaspoon of vanilla flavor. Yeah. So when I stir this up and I'm going to let it boil, I'm going to be like, yeah, it's not giving what it's supposed to give. And then I'm going to add the remainder of my ingredients, like the other stick of butter, more allspice, more nutmeg, more cinnamon. I don't really want a lot of nutmeg and allspice. It's just a little that I want. I really want that cinnamon, more of that than the other two, okay? Because nutmeg, all of them are strong, but I feel like nutmeg is like the strongest of all 3. So you really don't want a lot of nutmeg in here. I'm just going to stir it up. I'm trying to cut my peaches in half with the spoon, because I don't want like a whole bunch of whole peaches in this dessert. Like, you know, somebody biting some peach cobbler and it's a whole peach. Like, it might be some in there, but I don't want all of them to be like that. So, yeah. And here we go. This is after I added the other 1/2 cup of sugar, a little more of the other spices, and the other stick of butter. But I'm going to get a bigger pot, because as you can see, this ain't working. But it's looking good though. It looks delicious. And it was. This was very, very good, you guys. See, that's like syrup. Always taste your stuff too, you guys. You got to taste your flavors. You got to put a little on the spoon or whatever, dab it on your hand, and lick it off. Or put it on a spoon and taste it like that. Now this is a slurry. 1 tablespoon of flour, 1/4 cup of water. Stir it together till all the flour dissolves, and you pour it in here. This is just a thickening agent. You can use cornstarch, but I don't use cornstarch. So this is going to make this thicken up some, because that's what we want. And it's just enough. You don't need a whole bunch of slurry in there. So I'm going to pour the rest of mine in there. Just 1/4 cup of water and a whole tablespoon of flour. That is it. And that's the same thing. Use a slurry if you want to. If your gravy is not thick enough, you can use a slurry for that also. Yes. This is coming together nicely. And it's going to thicken up. It's not going to be super thick where it don't have no juice. I don't want that, but it'll be thick enough. Like, you can see the consistency has changed. So, yeah. This is what we want. I keep doing that with the spoon because I want y'all to see the thickness, but it ain't doing it. But you can tell though when I stir it up. Excuse me. You can tell when I stir it up that it's thick enough. We don't want it to be solid. You know, we just want it to have a little thickness. See, you can tell when I stir it up. So, yeah, I don't know why I keep doing that. And so here's my crust. Like I said, my lighting is very bright. And then I put a parchment paper down. And, yeah, it's not, I have that, what is it called? the silicone, the mat. I have that, but I don't have it with me. So yeah, I couldn't use that. So I'm going to end up just using the counter, making sure the counter's clean and dry, of course, and flouring it, and use it like that, because this is going to be difficult because it won't be stable enough. Excuse me, and it keeps sliding. Now the part that I use the counter on to actually roll the dough out, you're not going to be able to see that. The video is going to break. But anyways, I end up rolling it out, cutting it to size this pan. You can put the pan or whatever you use on top of the dough and just like push it down to mark it, so then you will know how much dough to put in there. So this is I do like a bottom crust because I like crust. So this is what you call blind baking, and basically you put holes all over the dough with a fork. Then you put some parchment paper on the bottom of it. Do not let parchment paper hang over your dish, but you put it on the bottom of it, and then you use the beans as weights, and basically it's taking the air out of the crust. And you're going to put that in the oven just like this. This is when I took it out of the oven, so it was kind of hot. And then you're going to save those beans because you can cook them another time, okay? So make sure you get all the little beans out the crust. Now, you don't want this crust to cook all the way. You want this crust to be in there for, I want to say, like a good 6-7 minutes, maybe 6 minutes, because basically you want it to cook but not cook all the way, so you don't have a soggy crust. That makes for for you not to have a soggy crust. If you making a pie like this and you have a bottom crust, even if you're making a sweet potato pie, blind bake your crust so that you won't have a soggy crust. Promise you, your crust will not be soggy at the bottom. And I also put dumplings in here. Some of my leftover dough went in the freezer. Some I pinched little pieces of it and put it in the filling so that it will make dumplings, and it was very good, you guys. Okay, and you just see me put my top crust on there, and then I cut the edges off or whatever and pushed it down the way I wanted it to be. Now I'm trying to get this out of here. So you see that bottom crust? It ain't soggy. It stands still where it's supposed to be. I just couldn't. I should have had a bigger spoon getting this out of here, but yeah, whatever. Anyway, you guys, this dish was so good, and don't be afraid to try to make something new and delicious like this. And yeah, thank you for watching. This has been Keisha from Lorraine's Treats and Things. Any comments and questions, please leave it in the comments and I'll look at it. Thank you so much. Have a blessed day, and I'll see you guys next time. Look at that, how beautiful it is. Peace.